All right, so what is this one thing, this one idea? I don't even know what you really want to call it, but it's this one thing that all successful people are called before they make it, before they're at the pinnacle of wherever they're at, before they, whether it be an athlete, CEO of some company, just a content creator, or just a super successful person. And this one word describes them perfectly before they make it, before they are at where they're at now. And that word is delusional or crazy. So when we think of the word delusional, you think of someone like a mentally ill person, someone that's not fully there, that hallucinating, whatever. But when I think of the word delusional, your ideas should be so delusional. Your ideas should be so big, I should say, that other people, your average Joe, your average Bill, should view it as crazy, as you're insane. Because that's how you know you're thinking correct. That's how you know is your idea is bigger than what most people view as normal. Because your average person can't think in that way. Your average person sees whatever idea or whatever message you're trying to put out there as crazy, because it has, whether it hasn't been done yet or just so or impossible, that they put this title of delusional or crazy on you because they simply can't do it for themselves, or it just simply hasn't been done yet in life. And the greatest people on earth, the greatest people who've ever done anything big in this world, were seen as delusional and didn't have realistic expectations for themselves. You shouldn't view your ideas or your goals. You shouldn't have set realistic ideas or goals. You shouldn't. It should be bigger than, it should be the biggest thing you could even think of. If your mind can think of it, then it can happen. Obviously, there's certain things that like the human person cannot do, but a lot of things a human can do. And the biggest thing that differentiates those who achieve those monumental goals, those monumental things, is mindset. That's literally the only thing that separates those is the mind. At the end of the day, it's the mind. And this one analogy, or this one analogy, I think portrays this perfectly. So I know you probably heard or you've probably seen the experiment of the ant. If there's an ant, like say on a piece of paper, and you draw a circle around that ant with a pen or marker, whatever, that boundary is not really there. But once you draw that circle around it, the ant, in the ant's eyes, it views the circle as its limit. It cannot expand past that circle because there's a boundary set there. But that boundary isn't really there. It's just in the ant's mind that it can't exceed those limitations, because that's just simply where, as far as it can go, that's as far as it thinks is in its mind. But if that circle was not there on that page, the ant would be free to do whatever it wants. It can go up, it can go down the page, it can hop off the page, it could go all the way to Europe and come back. But once you draw that circle, it is limited to that circle. And that's a perfect description of how we limit our beliefs, how we limit our goals, how we limit the things that we view in life. We put a boundary around ourselves, and perception is reality. If you perceive that there's a boundary or a limit on how high you can go, then you're going to be set to those boundaries, because in your mind you believe you can't go past a certain limit. Like if you're into fitness, or fitness, say you're your fastest mile ever is 8 minutes. I mean, you never passed 8 minutes for some, or you never did better than 8 minutes for some reason. If you really wanted to, in your mind, that's just like every time you run 8 minutes, man, like that's just as far as I could go. That's just it. 8 minute per mile. I can't really beat that. If you do that a couple times, then you think in your mind like the 8 minute mark is like, oh, all right, that's it. That's simply it. We can't get any faster than that. But I guarantee you, if you run with someone else who's faster than you, and they run faster than an 8 minute pace, and you don't say you don't have a timer, you don't have anything, you could keep up with that person at least to the extent where it would be faster than 8 minutes. Because you simply just set the boundary in your mind, because maybe 2 or 3 times that you ran your fastest mile, you hit that 8 minute mark. But so in your mind, you're like, all right, 8 minutes is like is the wall. 8 minutes is the wall, man. We can't do faster than 8 minutes. But you're running one day. You're running with that one person. You're not keeping track of time. You're not keeping track of anything. You'll run past that 8 minute mark because you don't have an idea how fast you're running. You just know you're running. You don't know your time. You don't know any of that. So you will run faster than that 8 minute mile. You need to stop being realistic. It just limits, puts a cap on your success. Like at the end of the day, I remember when me and my boy, my best friend, we were younger, probably like 9, 10. We always told ourselves we're never gonna live the standard life, standard lifestyle. Like we had all these ideas. We still have all these ideas, these things that we want to accomplish, and some of them we did, some of them we didn't. But our goal in life is to not be average. And being average is comfortable for a majority, 95% of people. Being average, people are fine with being average. That's cool. But I never thought that way. Like my thinking was never like that. And I kind of fell into the trap by going to school, getting the 4-year degree, getting the job, and then working in the cubicle. And then I was like, fuck, I'm falling into the trap that I said I would not get myself into. I'm doing the things that I pledged against that I would not do. And if we go back to that circle analogy with the ant, there was actually another study or project, I guess study you would call it, where there was a spider who was in that circle, same circle that they put the ant in, and he was trapped. He was trapped in the circle as same situation as the ant, but then he accidentally stepped over the line. He accidentally stepped over. And then he was like, oh wait, this is not even real. This imaginary circle or this wall around me is not even real. It's some artificial shit that's just there. And then he happens to walk out and realizes he can go wherever he wants. And that's literally us. Once you realize you could do something outside of the wall that you set for yourself, or the wall that other people set for you, the sky is the limit. You can literally, you can go higher than the sky. There wouldn't be, if there weren't for the Wright brothers or the Elon Musk or the Steve Jobs of the world, the people who, their ideas are crazy, their ideas are insane. If it weren't for those people who just think different, you just gotta just really think different. A lot of the things that goes on in this world wouldn't happen. Like, think how crazy it is for a human to be flying in the air. But we do that. But when it originally started, if you thought a human could fly, you would look at someone like, are you bugging? Like, that's insane. Or just going to outer space. That's insane. But anything is literally possible. A lot of things are possible that we don't think are possible. We're on a rock that's floating. Like, if that doesn't say like anything is possible, then I don't know what does. We're literally on a rock. But back to the main message. You just gotta think different. You gotta think crazy. People, for me, me wanting to trade, me trading. When I first started doing it, people were like, well, 99% of traders fail, 99% don't make money, most traders don't do this, most traders don't do that. I'm like, bro, that's not me. That's not me. I'm not gonna be most traders. I'm putting the necessary steps, I'm gonna have the necessary information that I need to in order to be that 1% or whatever the actual stat is of the people that are consistent, the people that succeed. And I am being consistent and I am succeeding. And it's crazy because when I first started doing this shit, people are like, nah, you're not gonna make no money. It's all luck. It's all luck. You can't time the market. Like, you can't time the market, but you can put yourself in situations where you can make money because it's all probability at the end of the day. But people don't think that way. It's all probability. It's all about take your money where you can and cut your losses where you can. Simple. It's simple. But people think just because they can't do something, you can't do it. And it's gonna be hard. Like, it is hard. It was hard, and it still is hard. But it's possible. It's possible to be consistent. It's possible to make money. It's possible to make a living off day trading stocks. It's possible. And I'm proving to myself every day that it's possible because I'm consistent. Like, people are gonna look at you crazy until it's you heard this, but people look at you crazy until you do it. And then once you do it, then people are gonna be all on you, like, oh, I believed in you the whole time, like, yada yada yada, and then, nah, bro. Where were you at before? Like, look at anyone that you look up to, but before they were at where they're at now. Your idea has to be so crazy, your idea has to be so insane that the normal person looks at you crazy. Simple as that. They look at you like, what the fuck is good with that guy? And then they'll talk shit behind your back because they can't do it. So apparently you can't do it. And like, even with YouTube or boxing for me, like, people are like, you're getting in the ring? Like, what are you doing getting in the ring? Like, you're fucking gonna go like get beat up and shit? Like, just because you can't fucking fight don't mean I can't. It's like, it's things like that. And just like, look at YouTube. Mr. Beast. Look at where he started. People thought he was delusional, like, with his ideas. But if you put in the consistency, along with also having the idea that is so large, then you'll get there eventually. It's not going to be overnight. It may take a little bit more time, but you'll get there. Your idea has to be so big. If you can think of it, it can happen. And the best way to achieve that big dream, that delusional dream, is to implement those steps on the daily. So implement steps on the daily that you can hit to achieve the bigger picture. It's all about consistency at the end of the day. Like, I'm creating these videos, trying to create 3 videos a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm trying to do that every day of the week, or every week. 3 videos a week. Is that crazy? I hope so. That means I'm doing something right. You know? So, if your idea is crazy, you're doing something right. Let me know. Comment below. If you have a dream, just anything, man. Just anything. It could be possibilities are endless. I just want to hear what your idea is. And then you Go out, set your plan, go do it. Worst situation, this is I always remind myself, worst situation is if it don't work out, you learn something, or you definitely will learn something, and then you'll just be back in the same situation you were in, but you'll actually have more knowledge in your brain. So, be delusional, be crazy, be insane. Let people talk shit. If people talk shit, that's you doing something right. So, I'll leave you with that. Peace.